You're welcome to The Truth on Refresh Nigeria. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. I'm angry at a group of people, those who are calling only for the sacking of Naira Marley, particularly as regards the death of Mohbad. I'm angry. And the reason I'm angry with those people is not that Naira Marley is innocent. It's not that I support Naira Marley. Definitely far from it. I do not support Naira Marley, and I do not talk to defend Naira Marley. So why am I angry at these people calling for the sack, calling for the unfollow, calling for the blocking of Naira Marley and Malian music? It's simple. Nigeria happened to Mohbad. What Naira Marley did to Mohbad, which may be or not be responsible for the death of Mohbad, but is certainly linked in some way or the other. What Naira Marley did to Mohbad, Tinubu and the APC have done worse. They are doing worse to millions of other Nigerians across Nigeria as we speak. And people are quiet. In fact, they are clapping for Tinubu. Is this not hypocrisy? What happened to Mohbad is bad. And it is Nigeria that happened to him. And if anybody will come out to call for the sack of Mohbad, then what is good for the goose is good for the gander. Have you not seen Mohbad? Have you not seen Naira Marley? Have you not seen Larry taking pictures with the governor of Lagos State? Obviously, they are friends. And what he is doing, we have seen video where they are bragging that they work for Oba Elegushi, they work for the governor. We have seen videos where Sam Larry, whatever his name is, was bragging that he's working for the Lagos governor, working for the Oba Elegushi. We have seen videos. He can only make that statement based on actual truth or proximity to the truth. And of course, you know, here we are for the truth. So if Naira Marley is guilty, then APC and Tinubu is guilty. If we must sack Naira Marley, Malian music, then we must sack APC and sack Tinubu. Because the evils that are happening to Nigerians on a daily basis that we don't even hear of because they are no celebrities is way worse than what Mohbad went through. Definitely Mohbad's death deserves justice. Mohbad deserves justice. And so do millions of other Nigerians that are suffering things that are similar to Mohbad. So I say this again. Yes, sack Naira Marley. Sack Malian music. But don't forget there is one greater than Naira Marley and one greater than Malian music. And that's APC and Tinubu. And these two should receive the short end of the stick of justice. But one thing surprises me though. Why now? All the videos that people are watching now and they say they are crying, Iyabo Ojo is watching, is doing her videos, all those videos about injustice to Mohbad, they were out there. Nobody responded to them. But now that Mohbad is dead, people are calling justice for Mohbad, justice for Mohbad. Please, let us do this thing the pato-ranking way. Celebrate people while they are alive. It's not when they are dead we'll not come and start shouting justice for, justice for. People are suffering injustice right now because of the system that we are in. the judiciary, the police, the legislature, the executives, all of them are no longer interested in justice. They are not. Look at what the judiciary did recently in its judgment against Peter Obi and Atiku's petition at the Presidential Elections Petitions Tribunal. Look at what the tribunal did. They gave judgment without justice. The Electoral Act 2022 sought to correct violence at the polling units in Nigeria's election. And that was why the whole idea of the humongous monies that was spent on beavers was approved in the first place. So that the innovations that the beavers brings will stop electoral violence at the polling unit and thus make our elections in Nigeria transparent in the first place, credible, peaceful, free, and fair. That was the whole essence of the whole beavers thing. But the justices of the tribunal gave judgment and they did not give justice. Because right now, what they have said is anybody who can, anybody who has the power, anybody who has the means to rig an election, to mobilize thugs, pay them peanuts, give them alcohol to drink, and send them to go and disrupt polling unit results. Anybody who can do that should go ahead and do it. That's what the tribunal just did. By giving INEC a pass mark where they obviously failed. That's injustice. And we're not crying against it. We're shouting justice for Mohbad. Yes, Mohbad deserves justice. So do millions of Nigerians that were robbed by INEC. I'm certainly for justice for Mohbad. But I am saying, extend the call for justice. Extend it to justice for Nigeria. Extend it to justice for Nigeria. And they came, forced themselves into power and shouted that they have 8-point agenda. And they put rule of law there. And they put anti-corruption there. And I'm asking myself, after all the hardship that the Tinubu administration has brought upon Nigeria in the name of removal of fuel subsidy, they still come out to put in there that they want to fight corruption. Excuse me, as a Nigerian who is living in Nigeria, who understands the trouble and the rubbish that goes on in Nigeria, where is the biggest corruption in Nigeria taking place? Let me not leave you to wonder too much. I will give you the answer. It is Nigeria's oil and gas industry. Trillions, trillions, trillions were claimed to have been paid by the Tinubu administration in 2020, 2021, 2022, and first half of 2023. In fact, first half of 2023, it was 3 trillion naira that they claimed they paid for fuel subsidy. In 2022, it was 4.2 trillion naira they claimed they paid for fuel subsidy. In 2021, it was 3 trillion. In 2020, it was over 2 trillion that was paid. In less than 3 years, over almost 11 trillion naira was claimed to have been paid for fuel subsidy. In fact, they claimed they were paying this fuel subsidy with all the revenue that Nigeria was making. They claimed they were making paying this fuel subsidy with and using all the revenue of Nigeria's oil to pay for interest on loan they even took to pay for fuel subsidy. And then Buhari leaves. Tinubu is sworn in. And then the group CEO of NNPC Limited comes on national TV to say that they did not receive any money for fuel subsidy payment from 2020, 2021, 2022 on national TV. So obviously somebody is lying. It's either Buhari and his ministers lied that they paid over 12 trillion naira in fuel subsidy in a space of 3 years, or the group CEO of NNPC Limited lied that they did not receive any fuel subsidy payment from 2020. And then fast forward There's a panel that was set up by the House of Representatives in Nigeria's legislature. And they called the oil marketers to ask them, how much were you paid for fuel subsidy? And the report is out there in public. Just do a simple Google search. You'll find the answers you need. The videos are there, replete with the information, the truth, the response of the oil marketers in Nigeria. And what was their response? They did not receive any payment for fuel subsidy with regards to the DSDP arrangement of the NNPC. This is out there. And yet, Tinubu came, rather than expose this corruption that is obvious, that is staring us in the face. He says fuel subsidy must go. And then, instead of just simply exposing the corruption in the fuel subsidy scheme, he decided that the best thing to do is increase the pump price of fuel. That was the best thing that Tinubu thought to do for Nigeria, and he's saying he's fighting corruption. This is injustice to 200 million Nigerians. When we know that the DSDP arrangement did not require payment for subsidy, because it was direct sale, direct purchase by NNPC's own definition. It's not me saying so now. By NNPC's own definition, they say that it is, I will give you crude oil, and you will give me refined petroleum, the equivalent value of the crude oil that I gave you. And it's on free on board basis, Nigerian loading terminal. Please excuse me. What is free on board? It means that the oil company will pay for the crude oil that NNPC gives them from the loading terminal. So NNPC's only cost is to extract the crude oil from the ground and transport the crude oil through pipelines to the loading terminals, about 25 of them that we still have, functional. From that loading terminal, the cost of transporting the crude oil is borne by the refineries. Their cost of transportation, their cost of refining, their cost of shipping back is added to the value of the crude oil that they ship back. Do you get? So it means that if NNPC gives them $1 billion worth of crude oil, it's very simple. And I'm surprised that educated Nigerians cannot even see this. If NNPC gives the refinery $1 billion worth of crude oil on FOB Nigerian loading terminal basis, it means that the cost of transporting the crude oil from Nigerian loading terminal with all the port charges, with all the shipping charges, with all the insurance charges will be borne by the refinery. And they will transport the crude oil to their refineries in Rotterdam. They will refine the crude oil, give us back refined petrol product. In fact, out of the refined product, they give us only 3. Diesel, fuel, and aviation oil. They will now calculate the value of their shipping cost, insurance cost, and everything, add it to the cost of the refined product that they are giving us to equal to $1 billion. And they say that is the equivalent of the refined petrol product for the $1 billion worth of crude oil that you gave to us. NNPC does not need to pay a dime. So every payment, every claim of payment of fuel subsidy is a fraud. And if there is going to be removal of fuel subsidy, it should be that the people who have received this money should be exposed and the money returned to Nigeria. That was what we needed to do. But some foolish people out there still come out talking and trying to play wise, smart, knowledgeable, educated. And they say that, oh, Nigeria, we could not afford fuel subsidy anymore. It was too expensive. It was taking all our resources. Which resources was it taking? Which resources was fuel subsidy taking? No subsidy was paid. No subsidy was paid. And I'm not the one who is saying it. It's the group CEO of NNPC Limited that said it. It is the oil marketers themselves that said it, that no subsidy was paid. And if you look to the fine details of the DSDP arrangement, no subsidy was paid. Yet, 200 million Nigerians are being made to suffer. Businesses have died. They have shut down. Purchasing power of people who are even earning big have been more than halved. Because the Tinubu administration put in there that they are going to fight corruption, but they are encouraging corruption and transferring the burden to Nigeria or Nigerians. And we are crying for only Mohbad. Yes, please do, by all means, cry for Mohbad. But I am saying, in addition to that, cry for 200 million Nigerians that are suffering worse things than Mohbad suffered. This is a cry for justice. The justice that the tribunal did not serve. The justice that Mohbad did not get. Despite writing petition to the police. The same police that made excuses for the likes of MC Oluomo. They made excuses. The same police that ignored the petition of Mohbad. Is now setting up a panel to deliver justice. We will get to the bottom of it. What a joke. Nigerians, the ball is in our court. You know, I say that Nigeria does not have a problem of leadership. Nigeria has a problem of followership. Look at all the atrocities that Naira Marley committed. In fact, as at the point of the death of Mohbad, it is reported that he's not even in the country. Yet, he's been reported to be able to pay people or scare people to mete out threats against Mohbad through people. You know, this guy sang a song, I don't know who his name is. He says, problem not the key person. Now person, not key person. Naira Marley is not so powerful. If not for the people that agreed to allow themselves to be used to perpetrate injustice to Mohbad. It is people. Tinubu is not so powerful if not for people that allow themselves to be used by him. They see the truth and they refuse to say the truth because they want to get contract, because they want to get appointment, because they want to get job, because they want to get help, because they are looking for destiny helpers. Because they're looking for destiny helpers. So they see black, they call it white. They see truth, they call it lies. Woe to you. Worst of evils to you. Nigeria deserves justice. Nigeria deserves justice. The nonsense that went on in Port Harcourt during the election, the Supreme Court is now up to you. Don't forget, and this is not a threat, that sovereignty rests ultimately with the Nigerian people. And Nigerian people, I'm calling on you. Start talking, make noise, make noise, make noise. Really. The small justice, the uproar that is unraveling and revealing the truth about the issue of Mohbad is only possible because Mohbad made noise. That's a lesson for you in Nigeria. That there's power in making noise. If Mohbad did not make noise, mind you, there are people who are suffering worse things than Mohbad and they are silent. They are even dead and nobody's calling for justice for them. But the justice that everybody is calling for Mohbad now, the fact that Mohbad issue has gone viral is because Mohbad made noise. Even though he died, but the noise he made is calling for justice for him. If he did not make noise, he would have died and nobody would have batted an eye. All the people coming out now, they would have come out to say anything. But he made noise. So Nigerians, it is up to you. Let's make noise. The injustice that went on during the 2023 presidential election must be called out. It is the real Gbajue. INEC is the real Gbajue. I don't even so much as blame APC. I blame INEC. Who are the people that allow themselves to be bought? The person who bought and the person who allowed himself to be bought. Who is more wicked? It is the person who allowed himself to be bought. And that is INEC.